All right, so here is actually a peek of the little field journal that I used for my Stencil-fied journal project. I think it's, I don't know, 3.5 by 5.5 by 3.5. And I totally became addicted to this size. I love how you can hold it in your hands. So here is the cover of my journal. That was one of the prompts. We actually had to dip it into some coffee or tea for 5 minutes and let it do its magic. Because this journal only had so many pages and we extended the length of the project, I got creative with how to add some of the prompts in here. So you might see some tip-ins with some tags. You might see I created a little tag pocket for one of the prompts here. So I'm going to just kind of flip through and show you some of my favorite ones. This one we were to use the same word over and over again. So I used a stencil as the background and then just wrote my words inside of it. This one was actually really challenging. We were supposed to stencil with glue. So I used just some Elmer's glue that I added some black acrylic paint on. Obviously you can see it seeped underneath the stencil, but I just outlined the shape of the stencil, and I really like how that one ended up at the end of the day. Let's see what we've got here. This one we were stenciling tissue paper, so I just cut out my letters from the tissue paper and glued them down to my page. Oh, that one has not been revealed yet. This was the very first one. This was stenciling circles. I really like, circles are always fun to do. This one actually has not been revealed yet either, I don't think. But this one was numbers, so I just put a little tip-in tag. I really liked kind of the different size for it. This is what's left of one of the very first prompts where we were supposed to stencil and then rip out pages of our journal and put them outside for a few weeks. So the other part of this page was a page I ripped out, and this is, we put them back in our journal. This was that page. So I had attached it to a piece of rusty metal, and through rain and weather it actually put the rusty image on this page, and this actually turned out to be one of my favorite spreads in the whole book. But this was originally the other half of this spread. That one was, we were supposed to document our day, so I just put time of the day and kind of reflect the color for the mood that I was going with. This one we were supposed to stencil our least favorite colors. Purple is probably one of them, and brown, but then put in words that we love. So that's what that page is about. This one is stencil and then add office supplies to it. So my underpaper, there's 4 different Post-its here I used, and I glued them down. And these are rubber bands that I cut up and then glued them down and then painted on top of them. I thought that was kind of a fun page. This one, we bought a piece of Mother Nature inside, so we stenciled on a leaf and then we added it to our journals. This is another one of my favorite pages. This one, we were supposed to stencil and then glue 2 pages together, which is what I've done here, and put a note to ourselves. So I wanted this note to be able to be pulled out if I wanted to read it. So I typed a note to myself, and you can see what I actually wrote to myself on my blog. And I put a little pull tab on it so then I can place it right inside my journal. And I thought this was interesting because it was like I was talking to myself. This one was about stenciling lines and then putting a quote on our page. This one we were supposed to stencil in a mirror image. So not only is my stenciled background a mirrored image, I also stenciled or stamped a palindrome on my page. So reading it forwards and backwards, it reads exactly the same. This one I already shared with you. This one we were supposed to poke holes in our page. So I had poked several holes in here, and then on this one I backed them with dictionary paper. And then this one I went ahead and just punched out the dictionary paper and placed it on top. This one I don't believe has been shown yet either, but this is just a hint of a future prompt, but we're supposed to stencil with a untraditional medium. So I actually stenciled with rust water, and I love how this turned out. So I had done that on separate pieces of paper and glued them into my journal. This one we went and asked one of our friends to stencil in our journals with one color. So I sent this to my beautiful friend Michelle, and she stenciled this gorgeous page in gold for me. So I love that page. This one we stenciled on our shoes, and then we stomped right onto our books. So the background is created from that image. So it was kind of cool because you usually have a pattern on the bottom of your shoe. So the pattern came through on the stenciled image. So it was kind of a 2-for-1. And this one I don't believe has been shown yet either, but we're supposed to stencil in black and white. So I have 2 different stenciled patterns here, and then have your friends write on this. So during our Labor Day soiree, at the end of August, beginning of September, I actually pre-did this page because I wanted all of my friends at the soiree to write on here, which is what they did. And I really love the contrast of how this one turned out. This one we were supposed to stencil inside shapes, so I can never pass up stenciling circles and turning those into flowers. And then this one we were supposed to stencil a page and then rip it out, rip it up into pieces, and put it back in our journal however you want. So I went ahead and collaged those pieces back down in, and then I just added one of my stamped images on here with my words. So that is actually my entire little journal. I love, love, love how this turned out. I might actually go ahead when I get a few free moments and start all over. I have several of these little journals, and I think I'm going to start from prompt 1 again and challenge myself. It's a great way. It's only once a week. I figure I can do 1 journal page, 1 journal spread a week. And it's really fun to be creative with your stencils and figure out new and fun ways on how to use them. So I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope you enjoyed my little field journal. And I cannot wait to see some more of your finished journal pages using some of these Stencilfied journal prompts. But that is all for today. And thanks so much, and have a wonderful day.